slips in slow beneath the door. A pale gold ribbon stretched across the floor. And there you are, the way you always are. A small soft moon, my quiet little star. You blink at me the way that lovers do, without a word, but somehow I know you. Your tail curls slow, a question half begun. A tiny life that weighs more than the sun. And I have learned what tenderness can mean. In every place your paw prints have been seen. Oh, the quiet light you bring is louder than the loudest anything. You purr the world back into shape for me. You are the home I never thought I'd be. The kettle hums, the rain begins to fall. You stretch across the windowsill so tall. And tiny as you are, you fill the room. You chase the corners clean of every gloom. I talk to you in voices I don't use, with anyone who'd ever ask or choose. You listen like the trees listen to wind. You forgive the day for everywhere it's been. And I have learned what gentleness can do. In every quiet hour I've spent with you. Oh, the quiet light you bring is louder than the loudest anything. You purr the world back into shape for me. You are the home I never thought I'd be. If love is just a small thing kept alive by hands and bows and lullabies at 5, then love is what you've taught me how to hold. A warmth that doesn't ever quite grow cold. And someday, when the windowsill is bare, I'll still feel where your shadow used to lay there. The kettle and the rain will sing your name, and nothing in this house will be the same. Oh, the quiet light you bring will outlive every season, every spring. You purr the world back into shape for me. You are the only home I'll ever need. La, 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 la. The quiet light you bring. La, 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 la. sacred thing.
There's a sound I've come to know by heart, soft as a secret, gentle as a start. 4 little feet across the old wood floor, coming to find me like they did before. I leave the kitchen light on every night, just so the hallway feels a little bright. You walk through shadow like it isn't there. You make a kingdom out of every chair. And every creak the floorboards softly say spells out the rhythm of an ordinary day. Paws on the old wood floor, you're the welcome at my door. You're the reason I keep coming back for more. Paws on the old wood floor. I built this house with hands that didn't know that love could come in quiet and stay slow. You curled into the empty of my chest and taught it how to settle into rest. The neighbors say they hear me laugh out loud at nothing they can see inside the crowd. But you and I, we have our little jokes. The way you stare at strangers when they're folks. And every silence has a softer side. Whenever you're the one who's by my side. You're the welcome at my door. You're the reason I keep coming back for more. Paws on the old wood floor. I used to think a home was bricks and beams, a roof, a key, the architecture of dreams. But home is where a small thing knows your name and runs to greet you like you're still the same. So play your music on the boards tonight. Tap, tap your love beneath the kitchen light. I'll listen for you till the morning breaks. For every step a tired heart still aches. Paws on the old wood floor. You're the welcome at my door. You're the only thing I'm waiting for. needs nothing more.
You purr the way the ocean meets the shore, a slow and steady knock against my door, a rumble small enough to fit my palm, a storm that only ever brings me calm. You curl into the hollow of my arm, a tiny engine warm and free of harm. And every breath you take, I feel it too. The world gets quiet when I'm here with you. They say that thunder breaks the heavy sky, but yours is what I sleep beside at night. Small soft thunder in my chest, you're the lullaby I love the best. You shake the loneliness right out of me. Small soft thunder set my whole heart free. I've held a lot of broken things before and tried to mend them on the kitchen floor, but nothing ever fit the way you do. A piece I didn't know I needed to. You need the blanket like you're making bread, some ancient memory inside your head of milk and mother and the warmth of skin, of every safe place you have ever been. And maybe I'm a safe place now to you. The way you've made yourself a haven too. Small soft thunder in my chest, you're the lullaby I love the best. You shake the loneliness right out of me. Small soft thunder set my whole heart free. If God is in the smallest sacred sound, then God is here asleep and curled around. A heart that didn't know it could be held by something so much smaller than itself. The night gets long, the city dims its lights, but here we are, two creatures of the nights. You rumble on like nothing's ever wrong, and I believe you for a little long. Small soft thunder never let me go. You found a patch of sunlight on the floor, the same one that you found the day before. You sleep in gold the way that poets dream. You make the dust dance pretty in the beam. I watch you from the doorway of the room. I do not want to break this afternoon. The clock is slow, the kettle's not yet on. The world can wait another little dawn. There is a kind of holiness, I swear, in sleeping cats and sunbeams in the air. A window in the afternoon, you and I, and the soft warm tune of nothing much and everything that's true. Window in the afternoon with you. The kids next door are calling out their games. The mailman's truck pulls up and calls our names. But you and I are very far from here. We're somewhere where the days don't disappear. You flick an ear, you don't quite open eyes. You hear the world but don't believe its lies. You trust the floor, the patch, the steady sun. You trust that I won't leave you when you're done. And maybe trust is all that love can be. A patch of sun, a heart, a guarantee. You and I, and the soft warm tune of nothing much and everything that's true. Window in the afternoon with you. The years will come and take their little toll. Peel, the curtains lose their soul. But in my mind it's always 3:30, and you are sleeping in the sun with me. So sleep, my love, the sun has hours yet. And I will guard the things we won't forget. The dust, the gold, the slow, the soft, the long. The afternoon that wrote our quiet song. Window You walk in like the night has lent you eyes. Two little lanterns made of moon and skies. You stop and stare across the darkened hall. You see the things I cannot see at all. You guard the doorway like a tiny knight against the dreams that visit me at night. You stand between me and the things I fear. You make the shadows softer when you're near. And in the dark is not so deep when you're the one who watches while I sleep. Eyes like lanterns in the hall, soft and steady through it all. You are the keeper of my smallest hour. Eyes like lanterns, gentle little power. I used to leave a light on every night just to convince myself that I'd be alright. But now I leave the dark just where it is, because your eyes are all the light there is. You jump up softly to the foot of bed. You watch the rise and fall of every breath. You guard a creature you have come to love. You are the angel I was thinking of. And every time I awaken to the dark, you blink at me, a slow and certain mark. Eyes like lanterns in the hall, soft and steady through it all. You are the keeper of my smallest hour. Eyes like lanterns, gentle little power. If souls are bright the way that windows are, then yours is shining from somewhere afar. A light that found its way into my night and taught the dark how to be kind and light. So shine, my love, until the morning comes, until the kettle whistles and the songs of all the worry slid back into day, and we can rest and tuck the fear away. Eyes like lanterns in the hall, soft and steady through it all. You are the keeper of my smallest hour. Eyes like lanterns, gentle little power. Glow
weigh about as much as a small book, a paperback I keep beside the nook. And yet somehow when you lay on my chest, I feel the whole of everything at rest. Your heartbeat ticks against my ribs so slow, a little metronome of breath and glow. And every worry I was carrying lays down its arms when you begin to sing. Who knew that something with so little mass could anchor down the running of the past? The weight of you, the weight of you, the smallest thing that holds my whole life true. A pound of fur, a million pounds of grace. The weight of you has found its sacred place. I used to think that strength was bigger things, the roar of engines, dragons, kings, and wings. But strength is something quieter, I find. It's what a small, soft body leaves behind. You sleep across my arm until it aches, and I don't move because of what it takes to wake you from a dream you finally found. I'll let my fingers go a little numb because the world is heavy in your light, and somehow you are what makes mine alright. The weight of you, the weight of you, the smallest thing that holds my whole life true. A pound of fur, a million pounds of grace. The weight of you has found its sacred place. Oh, the doctors weigh the body, not the soul. The numbers tell you nothing of the whole, but I have weighed the difference you become, and you outweigh the silence and the song. So stay a while, my arm will keep its place. I'll memorize the softness of your face, and when at last you stretch and slip away, I'll carry on the weight of you all day. The weight of you, the weight of you, the smallest thing that holds my whole life true. A pound of fur, a million pounds of grace. The weight of you has found its sacred place. Heavy, heavy, the softest kind of love. Heavy, heavy, my little gift from above.
You have a name I gave you long ago, a proper one, the kind the papers know. But that's not what I ever call you here. You answer to 1,000 sounds, my dear. Sometimes you're buck, and sometimes you are bean, and sometimes you are queen of all you've seen. You're little loaf, you're tiny, you're my friend. You're every silly word without an end, and every name's a way of saying love, a little song the heart is singing of. Names I call you in the dark, soft and silly, every spark of every feeling I have ever had. Names I call you, sweet and never sad. You are Sir Whiskers when you're feeling tall. You're Mr. Pancake when you start to fall. Asleep across the cushion on the chair, a puddle of the softest kind of hair. You are my reason on the days I'm tired. You are my spark when nothing has inspired. You are the one who stayed when others left. You are the comfort of an honest breath. And every name's a prayer I didn't plan, a way to love the way no language can. Call you in the dark, soft and silly, every spark of every feeling I have ever had. Names I call you, sweet and never sad. A name is just a way to call a thing, but love is what the calling dressed in something else instead. So come my bean, my bug, my little loaf, my pancake purring on the kitchen sofa. Come hear the names I've made up just for you, 1,000 ways I say that I love you. Names I call you in the dark, soft and silly, every spark of every feeling I have ever had. Names I call you, sweet and never sad. Doesn't ever end.
The snow came down in pieces. Oh, overnight. A quiet world beneath the street lamplight. And there across the windowsill I saw the smallest set of footprints in the thaw. You'd watch the flakes the way that children do, pressed up against the glass, the world brand new, and left your little prints along the sill, a map of wonder, soft and very still. And I, who'd seen 1,000 winters pass, saw it again, reflected in the glass, footprints in the snowlight, a little map of you tonight. You taught the cold to feel a little kind, footprints in the snowlight on my mind. You don't know that the world is sad sometimes. You don't read papers, don't keep up with crimes. You only know the snow, the warm, the bed, the hand that strokes the softness of your head. And maybe that's the wisdom you have brought, a way of living slower than I thought, a way of finding wonder in the cold, a way of making winter not feel old. And every time I want to look away, you bring me back into the present day. Footprints in the snowlight, a little map of you tonight. You taught the cold to feel a little kind, footprints in the snowlight on my mind. The years will melt the way that winters do, and someday I will only have a few. But every snowfall after this one here will carry just a little of you near. So press your nose against the cold tonight, and watch the world turn slow and very white. I'll watch you watching, memorize the scene, the smallest, sweetest thing I've ever seen. Footprints in the snowlight, a little map of you tonight. You taught the cold to feel a little kind, footprints in the snowlight on my mind. Hush, hush, the snow keeps falling soft. Hush, hush, my love, my little loft. They say your heart's the size of a small plum, a tiny drum that beats a tiny song. And mine is bigger by a measured part, but yours can hold the whole of my own heart. You love without a contract or a doubt. You love without a reason to back out. You love the way the sunrise loves the day, by showing up no matter come what may. And I, who've made my love a complicated thing of contracts, terms, and all the chains they bring, a heart the size of mine could learn a thing or two from yours in time. You love so simple, soft, and so divine. A heart the size of mine could be like thine. You don't keep score of all the times I failed. You don't recount the storms that I have sailed. You only know the now, the warm, the near. You only know the love that's standing here. And when I'm cruel because the day was long, you forgive me before I've sung my song. You climb back on my lap, you nuzzle in. You teach me how forgiveness should begin. And maybe love was never meant to be the complicated thing I made it be. A heart the size of mine could learn a thing or two from yours in time. You love so simple, soft, and so divine. A heart the size of mine could be like that. The saints have written volumes on the topic. Philosophers have made it microscopic. But you, my love, inferring quiet grace, have shown me love is just to show your face. So purr, my teacher, in your tiny pew, and lecture me on everything you do. I'll listen with the biggest part of me, and try to love the way you've taught me to be. A heart the size of mine has learned a thing or two from yours in time. You love so simple, soft, and so divine. A heart the size of yours has changed this heart of mine. The smallest holy drum. Beat, 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 beat. You love me as I come.
If you could speak, what would you say to me about the way the world appears to be? Would you complain about the empty bowl, or thank me for the songs that I have sung your soul? Would you tell me which dreams you have at night, the ones that make your tiny paws take flight, the ones that make you twitch beside the lamp? Are you a hunter on a moonlit camp? I'd give a year speaking my own tongue to hear a single sentence from your young. If you could speak, oh, if you could speak, what gentle truths would your small voice critique? Would you forgive me for the days I'm weak? If you could speak, my love, if you could speak, would you tell me you love the kitchen sun, the way it warms your back when day's begun? Would you ask me why I cry into my tea, and tell me everything will come to be? Would you not say anything at all, because the silence is its own soft call, because the looking and the leaning in is more than any sentence could begin? Maybe you speak already in your way, a language that I'm learning every day. If you could speak, speak, what gentle truths would your small voice critique? Would you forgive me for the days I'm weak? If you could speak, my love, if you could speak. And maybe it's a blessing that you don't. Maybe words would break what looking won't. Maybe love is purer when it's mute. A tail, a purr, a paw, a small salute. So keep your secrets, keep them safe and warm. I'll read them in the way you weather storm. I'll read them in the slow blink of your eye, the longest love letter I'll ever buy. If you could speak, oh, if you could speak, I think we'd say the same thing every week. That love is soft and love is never bleak. If you could speak, my love, if you could speak. The silence says it best. My love, come and rest.
Your fur is gray around the muzzle now. You jump a little slower from the bow of every chair you used to leap with ease. The years have softened you by small degrees. forgot a thing. The hunter and the dancer and the king of every windowsill you've ever known still lives behind that gentle aging tone. And I look at you and somehow see them all, the kitten and the dreamer, big and small. Old cat, young heart, the years can't take the way you greet me when I'm half awake. You're growing slow, but love's not growing apart. Old cat, young heart, old cat, young heart. The vet says we should watch your kidneys now, should change the food, should pay them in somehow. And I will pay them every cent I have to keep you sleeping on my favorite half of every bed I've ever called my own. You've made your mark, you've thrown your sacred zone, and I would build you 50,000 more just to hear you padding through the door. And every wrinkle of your dear old face is just another year of saving grace. Old cat, young heart, the years can't take the way you greet me when I'm half awake. You're growing slow, but love's not growing apart. Old cat, young heart, old cat, young heart. They tell you not to love what won't outlive the patient years that you have left to give. But love that's measured won't be love at all. And I will catch you every time you fall. So come, my dear, and curl up where it's warm. The fire's lit, the wind is in a storm. We'll watch it from the safety of our nest and love each other through what time is left. Old cat, young heart, the years can't take the way you greet me when I'm half awake. You're growing slow, but love's not growing apart. Old cat, young heart, old cat, young heart. Slow, 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 the years can take their time. Slow, slow, my love, you'll always be mine.
There is a spot beside me on the bed, a little dip where your small body's pressed, And every morning when I wake to find you sleeping there, the world feels rearranged. The blanket's warm with all the heat you keep, the pillow soft from where you went to sleep. And I lie still, I do not stretch or move. The morning's slow, and you're the thing I love. The window's gray with light that hasn't bloomed. The whole world's hush, our private little room. The spot beside me, soft and small, you've claimed it like you've claimed it all. You're the morning's slow and certain song, the spot beside me where you belong. I never knew that I would share my bed with anything as gentle as your head. But here you are, a little ball of fur, the dearest neighbor I could ever prefer. You stretch and yawn, you blink your sleepy eyes. You don't quite know yet that the morning's wise. You climb up on my chest, you make me late, and I am thankful for the hour you've ate. Because the world can wait another while when you are stretching with that sleepy smile. The spot beside me, soft and small, you've claimed it like you've claimed it all. You're the morning's slow and certain song, the spot beside me where you belong. And if I'm gone for just a night away, you'll claim the pillow, you'll lay where I lay. You'll wait for me with patient, drowsy eyes, the smallest love that's ever recognized. So sleep, my dear, the morning's still ahead. The kettle's not yet boiling, not yet red. The newspaper can stay outside the door. The spot beside me's what I'm grateful for. The spot beside me, soft and small, you've claimed it like you've claimed it all. You're the morning slow and certain song, the spot beside me where you belong. Sleep, sleep, the morning will not rush. Sleep, sleep, my love, in all this hush. A ribbon of tail across the morning floor curls like a question against the open door. You walk in slow, you carry it behind, a flag of softness for the morning kind. It curves the air, it punctuates the room, a comma after every cloud of gloom. You speak in tale the way that poets write, a flick, a swish, a quiet exclamation light. And I have learned to read the smallest sign, the way the tale can speak when you're feeling fine. Ribbon of tail across the floor, tell me what your heart is for. A flag of love, a soft hello. Ribbon of tail, you let me know. A swish, you're irritated by the day. A puff, you've heard a noise from far away. A curl, you're happy, settled, soft and warm. A wrap around my ankle in the storm. You don't need words, you've never needed them. Your tale has been the gentlest stratagem of every feeling you have ever shown, the softest semaphore I've ever known. And in a world of shouting and of noise, you speak so soft, your tale your only voice. Ribbon of tail across the floor, tell me what your heart is for. A flag of love, a soft hello. Ribbon of tail, you let me know. A tail's a wand, a brush, a little flame, a wisp of every feeling and its name. And every time you write your love on air, I read it like a letter, deep and rare. So flick, my love, your messages of fur, and I'll receive them softer than a purr. I'll learn the syntax of your every line. The ribbon of your tail will always be mine. Ribbon of tail across the floor, tell me what your heart is for. A flag of love, a soft hello. Ribbon of tail, you let me know. Swish, swish, the softest little wave. Swish, swish, the love that I will save.
The rain came in around 4 o'clock, the kind that doesn't knock or even talk. It just arrived the way that old friends do, and settled in the gutters like a tune. And you went straight to where you always go, the window with the world to watch below. You pressed your nose against the cooling glass and watched the puddles grow upon the grass. The kettle hummed, the kitchen smelled of bread, and every worry softened in my head. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. The world is soft, the day is slow. We don't need anywhere, we have to go. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. I joined you there, I leaned against the sill. We watched the cars go careful down the hill. We didn't talk, we didn't need to share the simple fact that we were standing there. A drop ran slow against the outer pane. You tracked it with your eyes the way you train. On every moving thing, both near and far. The world is small when you're a tiny star. And maybe this is all that life requires: a window, rain, and small domestic fires. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. The world is soft, the day is slow. We don't need anywhere, we have to go. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. The poets write of grander things than this, of mountains, oceans, comets in the abyss. But I will take a rainy afternoon, a small warm cat, and an unwritten tune. So watch the rain, my dear, until it slows, until the kettle finishes and goes. I'll sit beside you, I won't make a sound. The rain, the cat, the love that I have found. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. The world is soft, the day is slow. We don't need anywhere, we have to go. Rain on the roof, and you by the window. Drip, 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 the rain keeps falling on. Drip, 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 my love, until the dawn.
You've claimed my lap 1,000 times by now. You jump, you turn, you settle, and somehow you make a throne of denim and of skin. And I am honored every time you've been. The book I'm reading slowly disappears beneath the warmth that's gathered through the years. I'll never finish chapter 22, but I'll keep every lap I've held with you. And every time I shift, you give a sigh, a little protest at the moving sky. Every lap you've claimed has been a gift, a small soft anchor when the days adrift. I'll trade my freedom for your sleeping name. Every lap you've claimed, you'll always claim. My legs have gone to sleep 100 times for your small comfort and your gentle rhymes, and I would gladly lose them all again for just a moment of you settling in. The chair I bought, you made it your own throne. The couch belongs to you and you alone. I'm just a tenant in the home you've made, and gladly so, my dear, my faithful aid. Because the world demands 100 things, but you demand the smallest, dearest strings. Every lap you've claimed has been a gift, a small soft anchor when the days adrift. I'll trade my freedom for your sleeping name. Every lap you've claimed, you'll always claim. And someday I will sit and there'll be space where you'd have curved, a sweet and empty place. And I will leave the book unread again for every lap you've claimed, my dearest friend. So settle in, my love, the night is long, the fire's warm, the radio's a song. I won't get up, I won't disturb your peace. I'll be the lap on which you find release. Every lap you've claimed has been a gift, a small soft anchor when the days adrift. I'll trade my freedom for your sleeping name. Every lap you've claimed,